This scene was relatively simple to light with one really big exception. Today, we're going to be breaking down a scene from a short film that I shot called Night Mommy. My buddy Jameson was the director of it. I was the DP, cinematographer, camera guy, hey you,
We're running behind.
whatever you want to call it. Today we're going to break down the gear that we used, the placement of all the gear, give you reasons as to why we made some of the creative choices that we did with the lighting, as well as show you behind the scenes footage and go over a couple things that I would change, just kind of looking back and looking at the footage many times now. I have our main character, whose name is Braden in the story, and he pops up from underneath the baby crib. He goes and grabs a dimmer switch next to the bedside table, or crib side table. He grabs the lamp, he twists the bulb, and to his surprise, the lamp pops on. And then if you look on the left side of the screen there, we have a mysterious figure that's in the background. Like I said in the intro, this scene's relatively easy to light with one really big exception. That exception being, this was day for night. Day for night meaning it was 1 p.m. in the summer, outside, bright sunlight, beautiful day, really was. But that's not very good for shooting a night scene. So what we had to do was we had to black out and tent the entire backside of this house. So what that means is to take this really expensive black plastic, basically called Visqueen, attach it to the top of the gutters, drape it all the way down to the bottom of the grass, and you're blocking out all the natural sunlight that's trying to come into your scene. Let's go over here and we'll start with our key light. Key light being our main light source, which is obviously the lamp in this case. Right here, you can actually see exactly what light we're using. Unfortunately, we weren't using just a normal bulb on a dimmer switch, which you could use, and it's totally a nice solution for this. However, I wanted a little more control than that. So this is an Aperture B7C. And the reason I love this so much is for a couple of reasons. So number one, I love how the light just immediately falls off as soon as, or right after it hits his face, as well as this right here. I absolutely love having a catch light in any possible scenario or all scenarios where it makes sense for the story, obviously. It just adds life to your character. If we were to take away this catch light, say, like this, it looks a little scary. Honestly, it makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't want to look at him anymore. It really draws your attention into his eyes, just because we as people, just a psychological thing, we're always drawn to the eyes. There's a lot of emotion that's within the eyes. The other thing that we did with this is over here on camera left is a black solid. So it's just a big old piece of duvetine that we took, commando cloth if you want to call it that, and we just cut it. I think it was about 10 feet or so, and we just slapped it straight up on the wall with gaff tape. And that's just sucking away all the light that's over here, just to increase that fall off that's on his left or his right shoulder. Now that brings us to our edge light. This is also called a kicker or a hair light. It is a light that is on the back, typically, of your subject, which is separating them from the background. So you see a little bit of subtle blue that's right here on Braden's shoulders. And in this particular scene, the edge light is also bouncing and hitting the walls that are here, a little bit on the door. So this is more or less just an all-encompassing moonlight is our motivation for it. That was coming through the windows and just kind of splashing everywhere. We used two Aperture 600s. One was a 600D, the other one was a 600C, which is the color one. And I believe it was the 600C, it had a spotlight mount that was on top of it. And the reason we had a spotlight mount on one of them, not the other, is because if you look here in the beginning, you'll notice that the light that's in the foreground, this blue light that's on the crib here, is way more intense than the light that's in the back here, which was the other one, the 600D, that was shining through these sheer curtains here. We actually gelled these windows with a full CTB, that being color temperature blue. Now this light here, that's coming through the door frame, was in a hallway. And the first thing we had to do was treat the hallway a little bit because there was a lot of light that was spilling in through one of the door frames. We had an Aperture 300X that was out here with a lantern 90 modifier on it. That was giving this nice, really soft light that was kind of pouring in here. All the gear I've talked about so far will be listed down in the description. They are affiliate links, and if you pick up anything through there, I do receive a little bit of a commission. And if you do so, thank you so much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate it. It's what supports the channel and allows me to bring you guys content. Before I tell you the couple things I would have done differently to light this scene, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you would have done differently so far. I love collaborating and talking with other filmmakers, how they tackle problems, especially like a day for night situation. Problem numero uno would be this background. I want some sort of texture back here. To be fair, we did try that with the spotlight mount, but it wasn't working at all. We wasted like 25 minutes trying to have something back there, and it just wasn't working. The second thing I would have changed is over here, after Braden picks up the lamp, and it's on, and that would be the edge light here. I want this edge light just to be punchier. I just want to see more of this blue. It's just a little too subtle for me. If you found value in this breakdown, or if you just enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and check out another video over there.